Hello, whistle players everywhere. So today's tune breakdown is a big one. We've got a 6-part jig. It's called the Strayaway Child. It's a lovely, lovely tune, but there are 6 parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each part individually. I'm going to play it through without any ornamentation. Then I'm going to add a little bit of ornamentation, and then with each part I'm going to maybe talk about some variation to ornamentation which you can add. So today's tune, the Strayaway Child. Okay, so here's the first part, the A part. So I'm going to label them A, B, C, D, E, and F. So the A part, which we play through twice. So first time I'm going to play it, no ornamentation, and then I'm going to put some cuts and rolls in and show you what kind of ornamentation I like to do on this tune. So here we go. 1, 2. Okay, so let's have a look at putting in some ornamentation first. So right from the start, I'm going to separate the notes that are the same with cuts. So in the first bar, so separating the second E with the cut, and again. Okay, so bar 2, we've got, so again, separating the 2 E's using cuts. And now with that G, we're going to short roll it. So again. So first 2 bars. Bar 3, we're going to separate with cuts again. And I put a cut on that B. So and then bar 4. Now I've put a cut on the A in that bar. So again. So let's do the first line. We can do a little variation on that. So instead of going on the last bar, we can do a long roll on the F sharp. So we can go. So let me play that through with the long roll on the F sharp in the last bar. So without and with. Okay, so the next line, so line 2 of the A part. So again, separating the notes that are the same with cuts. So again, I'm cutting the B as well. So it's nice to maybe cut the B and the G. So pretty much the same as the first 2 bars. and then the last two bars of the A part. And again. So short roll on the B. And then so I'm just leaving that E plain for now. There's lots of things you can do at the end. You can put a little cran. And then I don't play the pickup note to go into the next part, so I just leave it there. Maybe take a breath at that place. It might be a good place to take a breath. So let's play the whole of the A part through now with the ornamentation. So on that last E, I'm tapping it. You can cut it, you can go, but I like to put a little tap on that, so I'm going. There are other things we can do with this in terms of variation, but I'm not going to throw too much because we've got a lot to get through. And again, add your own variations, ones that you like to do and ones that you think fit nicely with this tune. So now let's have a look at part B. Okay, so this is part B of Strayaway Child. This part isn't repeated, as it's kind of a funny one, because the second time you play it, it's got an altered ending to take you into the third part. So yeah, with this part, we just play it straight through. So like part A with part B, I'm going to play it straight through with no ornamentation, and then we'll put some ornamentation in and then talk about some variation for the second part, part B. Here we go. And then we go to the little D at the end. So it's going, and that little pickup note. You can leave that little pickup note out if you need to take a breath. It's only a pickup, so it's not vitally important that you get that note in, but yeah, you can use that bit as a breathing. So let's have a look at what we can do in terms of ornamentation now. So we'll take the first line of the B part. So here we go. So again, using cuts to separate those two notes. And then we've got, so that's the second bar of the B part. So let's do the first and second bars of the B part. So I'm putting a cut on that A. And again. So I've cut the first A there. Same with the next bit. Okay, so what I like to do on the last bar of the first part of the B part is to put that as a long roll. So it goes. So basically we're joining that quarter note and eighth note together, make it the same value as a dotted eighth note, and we can do a long roll on that. So let me play you the first line of the B part again. Now again, if you want, you can add in that second bar, you can turn the AGA into a long roll. So you can go. Which sounds quite nice. And again, you can do that in the second part or even the third part. You can mix it up. So, so let's have a look at the third line. So again, short roll on that last A. The third line, yeah, it's the same pretty much as the first. Again, you can substitute that AGA in the second bar of the third line for a long roll. But here is where we have a difference, because it now goes up to the high G for the last part of the B section. And so we go. So let's talk again. So separation of the two E's with cuts. Or we can go. Long roll. So we can either do a short roll on the A, or we can just play it with a cut and then leave a little gap to take a breath. So like to get a cut on that high G. And again, we can use a long roll instead of the AGA. Or so there I cut the B in the second half of that bar. Or then the last two bars. So I've done a long roll on that E and then just cut the last E. So it's going. And again, you can either play the D at the end, or you can use that as a breathing mark and just leave it out. Okay, so we've talked about substituting certain for long rolls. The only other thing that sounds nice in this, and again, it takes quite a bit of work on, is an E-cran at the end. So it's going. Or now with the cran. Okay, let's play the whole of the B part now. 1, 2. Okay, so that's the B part. Onwards and upwards, we'll take a look at the C part next. Okay, part C. Yeah, again, we've got lots of repetition of certain patterns. And like A and B, I'm going to play it through without any ornaments, and then I'm going to start adding a few ornaments here and there. So this is without ornaments. And so the second time bar, we go up to the high B instead of playing the bottom D. So it's pretty much a repeat all the way through, but second time, rather than playing up to the repeat sign on the first time bar, you're going to go to the second time bar and then move on to the next part, which is part D. Right, so let's have a look at what we can do in terms of ornamentation. So let's have a look at the first bar. So I like to put a low E cran on that. Or you could do a long roll. Either work. So bar 2, we've got a long roll on the G, and then I cut the B. So put those two together. And now with the cran on the E. So bars 3 and 4 of part C. Again, you can do that low E cran, or you can roll it. And then hitting that D. So I'll do it twice through when I come to play it through. First time I'll cran it, second time I'll just do a long roll. So again, lots of repetition. Same sort of thing on the second line of the C part. But then I go to the second time bar once I've repeated it. So let's play it through. 1, 2. So if I'm rolling that second time bar, note, cut, tap for the roll, and then I'm cutting again to separate for that bottom E again. So to go up to the B for the second time bar. Again, you can put those crans in like I did. Or roll it. Or just play it as written. So whether you roll it, whether you cran, or whether you play what's written is entirely up to you. You can vary it up, play it differently one way, and then when you come to repeat it, you can play it differently, and maybe where you would play what was written, maybe put a long roll in, or maybe even put a cran. It's up to you how you use these ornaments, or don't use them as the case may be. Okay, so that was part C. We're halfway through, and let's now look at part D. Okay, so with part D, as the same with A, B, and C, I'm going to play it through without any ornaments as written, and then we can look at what we can do ornament-wise and maybe throw in some variations too. So this is without any ornaments, part D. Oops, I put a cut in, so it's, yeah, that's instinctively what I would do on that second time bar. Never mind. Let's have a look at what we can do with some ornaments. So first bar is interesting. We can do lots of things with that first bar. So what's written? And what we can do, we can turn that into a long roll on the E. So we can go. Or we can do a cran on E and a cran on D. So we can go. Yeah, or you could cran the D and just roll the E like this. So cranning both. Or rolling the E and cranning the D. Or you could roll the E and just play the D as written. So lots of options there. Okay, so second bar of the D part. So there I'm putting just a cut on the B. Yeah, you could roll the B, you could go. So you could do. Or play it as. You know, I kind of like it just as it is. And again, you can overly ornament tunes, but I quite like that as it's written. So I would play. And now with the roll. Or as written. Again, choice is yours. Right, so the next two bars. So. Again, probably not too much I would do with that. You could do the. You could turn the G into a long roll. So instead of going, you could do. And maybe put a little cran on that D. But I wouldn't mess around with that too much. And again, just put a little cran on the D, or maybe just a cut. Okay, let's have a look at the second line of the D part. So we're going up to the C. Now I like to put either a roll or a cran there. Or you could play as written. Either work. So next bar. Again, I would keep that Wouldn't mess about with that too much. And then the last, again, I like to put a cran, or you could roll it. You could do a long roll and a short roll. And pick that B up if you want, or you could drop it and just have a breath there. So you could go to go back up to the beginning of that part because it's a repeated one. So the second time bar, we've got 2 long rolls, but what I would like to do probably is to take a breath. So I'd probably do either a long cran or a long roll, and then maybe just play the note and then take a breath after it. So I would go and then give you time to take a breath there, or and then take the breath. So as the other parts, I'm going to play it through with the ornaments. With the repeats, I'll throw different, maybe some rolls and some crans and some cuts. So see how we do with this. So 1, 2. Or if you want to put the cran in. Right, well, we're moving through this fairly well. So let's have a look at the last 2 parts now. So we're on for part E. Okay, part E of the Strayaway Child. As before, I'm going to play it through, no ornaments, and then we'll look at how we can ornament this and add some variation. So 1, 2. Second time bar with that pickup note B, or leave it out and take a breath. Choice is yours. Okay, so let's have a look. So separating with cuts, or we could separate with cuts and taps. So we can go in that first bar, or we could go. And I like to tap rather than cut there. Sounds quite nice, that. And then the next bar. Again, maybe just add a few cuts. Or just the one cut on the F. Same thing with bar 3. Or you could just, when you come down from the F, to add the full short roll on the E in the last bar. It's a bit of a pain, so what I tend to do is just tap it and then hitting that F. So first line of the E part. Yeah, that last bar. It sounds nice just to tap that. Okay, so then we've got the second line of the E part. And again, I wouldn't do too much with that. Maybe just put a nice cut on that high G. So second bar of the second line, you got. So I'm cutting the A and the B. However, on that AGA in the second bar, I like to do a long roll. So I'll go. Sounds lovely on that. So I substitute that for a long roll. And then the last bit. Or cran it. Or long roll. And of course that's repeated, and then we go either play the pickup B on the second time bar, or we just use that as a breath. So I'm going to play the whole E part with the ornaments and the variation. Or long roll at the end of that. All right, so we're on for the last part now of the Strayaway Child. Doing really well. We've got through the first 5 parts. Let's have a look at the final part, part 6. Okay, so we're nearly home and dry with this. We're on the last part of the Strayaway Child. So like before, I'm going to play it straight, and then we're going to add some ornaments and some variation. So here we go. 1, 2. Okay, so we can get quite fancy with this. I'll show you with the cuts just on the E's first, and then we can do like a kind of like a little twiddle on those E's. But I'll show you the easy way first. So we're just going to do cuts. So I like to tongue. It makes it easy to do a tongue cut on those two. It also brings out a bit more of an emphasis on those E's. So all right, the other thing you can do is a little twiddle. So it's like a cran, but a very sort of quick one. So it's a series of 3 cuts. So cut, 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 middle index, middle, middle index, sorry, middle index, middle. So we're just with the cut. Now with that little twiddly cran. And again, on the second bar of the first part, we've got, but again, I'm going to substitute the AGA for a long A roll. and then cut the B. So let's try the first two bars. I'm going to play them twice, first with the cut and then with those little crans. Now with the crans. And when you speed it up, they sound really nice. Okay, so you can do the same thing with the next two bars. So you can go. I like to just slide up to that B from there. So I'm going tongue and slide. Or just slide without using the tongue. It's up to you. Both work. Right, so we're there now. The last line. So again, you can put that funny little cran on the E and cut the high G. So, or with the funny cran. Or you could turn that AGA into a long roll. And then almost home now. And then with the pickup to go for the second time. Right, let me play it all the way through the final part. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay, there you have it, all the parts of the Strayaway Child. It's a big jig, lots of parts, and again, try and memorize it if you can, and just work on each part. You'll get it eventually. It's like memorizing anything. Just keep playing it through part at a time, and try and then add another part, and then try and commit the entire piece to memory. So, right, I'm going to play it through now, all the way through. I'm going to have a little Bower metronome going to give you a nice, not too fast rhythm. Okay, here we are, the Strayaway Child. Okay, here we have the Strayaway Child all the way. I've set my Bower metronome to 90, so it's not fiendishly fast. Again, like always, if you've liked and found this video tutorial useful, please give me a subscription. Please subscribe. If you any comments, just leave them in the comments section, or if you've got any requests for future tune breakdowns, I'm always open to hear your requests about tune breakdowns. Really interested to hear what kind of tunes you'd like me to have a look at next. Again, thanks very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Yeah, look forward to seeing you soon, and there'll be lots and lots of new tutorials and content coming up shortly. So here we have the Strayaway Child.